guys, welcome back to Critical Flick. We decided we kind of wanted to switch things up a little bit. I mean, we like doing movie reviews, but we kind of want to just talk about the things that we really enjoy and things that are in pop culture and film and video games and music and everything. And I feel like one of the things that's a thread through all of that is Disney. And we love the Disney properties, so we kind of wanted to do a series about different things we love about Disney, whether it's the animations, the music, the merchandise, the parks, all the different things, the video games. So yeah, this is going to be our first video in the series, and this one I think we're going to talk about our favorite Disney animations and why they're our favorite.
So I'm going to say I'm more of a 2D fan. With growing up on Disney, had all the VHS tapes, and those were my fave. Those were my
The puffy little...
Yeah, puffy.
I used to remember that. I was like, if you remember those, the Disney ones are always like the puffy ones.
Yes, and I remember organizing them, and I definitely had my faves that I watched, but I just love their whole styling of their movies, and they were always very bright and colorful. And I feel like they're a little bit ahead of their time as well, because you see other animation come out at the same time. They're not the same. They still compare.
I remember, like, we recently went back and kind of were looking and watching, like, Land Before Time and stuff, and it does feel like a knockoff. Like, when you watch Disney, like, that's the staple of animation. And I feel like it's been that since that, you know, the renaissance of the Little Mermaids and the Lion Kings and all that. They really kind of took a stranglehold on the animation market, and they haven't let go since. And I think that really shows. I mean, they're the standard for the industry.
Yeah, and I really think when Pixar came in, they definitely changed how to do cartoon animated movies and use that 3D aspect as well, even though they had used 3D aspects in other Disney movies like Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast was the first one. And I really think that was a game changer for Disney, but also it took away some of that nostalgia feeling from other movies. And I know they tried to do that with Princess and the Frog. That's why it came out and it was like 2D animation style, the old Disney way, but didn't do as well.
Yeah, it didn't succeed. And I think that's because, like, even for me, I didn't watch a ton of the 2D animations growing up. I had seen, obviously, The Lion King was huge and things like that. But really, Toy Story was something I really enjoyed, and that started Pixar. And I loved Monsters, Inc. I always thought that they were on the cutting edge. And as a little kid, I think also me playing the video games and seeing the 3D style, I associated that with Disney. And I think that's one of the reasons why I love 3D animation. 2D animation, I can appreciate the art of it's incredible. But 3D, it just has a different feel to it. It's more immersive. It feels more tangible to me.
I definitely feel like 2D is more like fantasy. I feel like that works for most of their movies.
Yeah.
So I feel like Disney's first successful, like, streamline into 3D animation, even though they're part of Pixar. Pixar definitely has their movies, and then Disney has theirs. So I feel like Tangled was the first one to successfully, like, do that and still feel like, you know, the older Disney movies. Mm-hmm. From the music, from the colors, from
like
the
story. Princesses.
Yeah.
Was she the first 3D princess?
I think so. I believe so.
Yeah.
And then they, you know, later down the line did Moana, which is just a great movie. And Frozen. I mean, you hear Frozen, everybody knows that movie immediately. Yeah. But I feel like they were trying to catch up with Pixar, and there's other movies that came out in between that were not very good. And Pixar was always like one step ahead, and there's like that time where Pixar and Disney weren't even together, and then they finally combined, which is great because they put out great movies together.
Yeah, and the other thing that I feel is interesting about the three-dimensional animation is I think it kind of bridges the gaps between adults and children. Mm-hmm. I feel like for the longest time, people associated two-dimensional animation as just cartoons. Like, it's just little kids see it. It's your Saturday morning cartoons. And then when you got something like a Toy Story, that was a game changer. Adults actually could appreciate, I think, the technical aspects of it. And I think that's why as you get further along in Disney, we get these 3D movies. Like, you know, you have your Wall-E's, Ratatouille, all those type films coming out. Frozen, obviously, was huge. I think that maybe the adults now, especially people our age, really like that, and we've grown up with that more. Mm-hmm. And another thing that we kind of wanted to talk about is we actually recently have been trying to buy as many of the older Disney movies on Blu-ray to kind of finish their collection of having all of them. And it's really impressive how they've been able to kind of refresh and redigitize these older properties and make them still look really good. Like, we had just watched Aladdin recently on Blu-ray, and it looked great. Like, it looked like it could have been made now. Like, mm-hmm. It's amazing how they're able to go back in and take these older films that were some of them, even if you watch Snow White recently, we have
Yeah.
on Blu-ray, and they take them and they look, they're obviously hand drawn at the time, and if you watch it on VHS or the old style, and then you watch it on Blu-ray now,
So much crisper.
It's incredible how they're able to do that. I mean, I do feel it loses a little bit of its charm, like if you grew up watching that old hand drawn style. But now, I mean, it looks really good. Nobody's gonna watch it and be like, "Wow, this looks so old."
The one thing that's not worrisome, but like I really hope that they still continue putting out animation movies, because now they're on this whole trend of doing live action movies. I don't know how you call the new Lion King live action.
Yeah, it's a weird line there.
But it looks really good, by the way. But I feel like they're going on this whole thing where they're redoing all these movies, these older movies that all grown up to love. But I don't want them to like lose track of what they were.
Yeah, you
how
don't
they
want
started.
you don't want them to lose that source material in the process of creating the new one. Like I saw that a little bit with Beauty and the Beast when the new live action film came out. It almost seemed like some people didn't even realize that there was an animation, especially younger kids that may not have seen it. This might be their Beauty and the Beast. Like, they might not even know. They'll be like, oh, that old movie that came out. Like, we see movies now. Like, for example, A Star is Born. Like, that's A Star is Born to me. But to someone in their 50s, it's not. There's other ones that came before it. So I hope that Disney still, they still stick with those older animations. They never let them, fade away and totally ignore where it came from.
Yeah, because we have 2 coming out next year, and it's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought I would see a live-action Jungle Book, and now we have, we have Lion King, Aladdin, we have Mary Poppins. That's not an animation, but I feel like it's cool that they're recycling these properties, and we're seeing it in the best technology we can see it in now, but I don't want them to ever kind of just shoo away these old, incredible films.
Yeah.
That, at the time, were groundbreaking.
Yeah. Very groundbreaking. Snow White, first.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of Disney animation as you go on. You're the first for doing a bunch of things, and while there are some throwaway ones that they obviously were just kind of, recycling old film cells and stuff, there are still some really incredible movies, and I feel like the younger generation should go back and watch them and appreciate them and understand where these new ones are coming from.
Yeah, Disney definitely set a stone for how to create animation movies, and I find it very important to watch them.
Yeah, and I mean, it's every year they put out 1 or 2 that are just incredible. It seems like they've been on a roll for years now, where, I mean, every year it seems like I'm saying, oh, what's going to win Best Animation, and it's almost always a Disney movie. I mean, we had to Train Your Dragon that one year, but other than that, I feel like it's always been a Disney movie that's come out. And I'm glad that they are pushing other studios to try harder with Illumination and DreamWorks, and you're getting other properties that are trying to compete with Disney, and I think overall you're getting better movies because of it. Alright guys, thanks for watching. This is going to be our first video in the series talking about all things Disney. I don't know what we're going to do next, but...
Let us know in the comments down below what you think we should discuss next about Disney. I mean, there's so much to talk about, controversies, what you think is going to be great. I don't know.
Yeah, and they talk about what your favorite animations are. I mean, we have people from all different ages and everything watching videos, so I just want to know, like, what do you love about Disney? Like, what do you think of when you think of Disney animation? Are you like us and you think of, the early to mid-90s, or me, the early 2000s, or... Maybe if you're watching this, for you, it's like Pinocchio. I don't know. You could be watching movies that are from back in the 50s and 60s and even way back into the 30s. So, and I mean, if you're really young, you could be thinking, like, I don't know, Incredibles could be like something. So, yeah, leave the comments down below and let us know what you think. Yeah. All right, guys.
Bye.
See ya.